Welcome back to the Sun and Moon Tarot. Today we will find what is good and what is hidden. I hope you're well and staying blessed, enjoying life wherever you are. This is a Leo season read for my air signs. If you have Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, highly aspected, this read is likely for you. My website is live. If you would like to check it out, I will be linking it in the description box. If you'd like to book with me, you can do so on the website or on the email that's listed in the description box. My booking advert is, or like offer, what I offer is on my website. I'm going to be using the Rider-Waite Tarot deck. If you are not, if you're new to the channel, you are unfamiliar with the layout, and that would be the 3 rows, the recent past, the current energy, and the future. There will be a couple clarifying cards as well for the Rider-Waite Tarot deck, and the bottom of the deck holds the overall energy for your read, or the theme for your seasonal experience. In addition, air signs, we're going to use the Dreams of Gaia Tarot deck for a couple clarifying cards as well. Okay, I hope you're enjoying the fire season. I hope you're enjoying life in general, my beautiful air signs. Let's go ahead and get into our read. The moon. The Queen of Pentacles. Excuse me. The Seven of Swords. The Ace of Swords. Oh yeah, I was trying to do that this month. I forgot. I'm here gonna pull the cards before I start. We're doing short little intro lessons into alchemy this month. I think that it's good for my viewers if you are interested in tarot or not familiar with alchemy, or other belief systems that I am intricately aware of. I am trying to teach the public. Okay, so I'm going to ultimately discuss the elements and the alchemical definitions or believed attributes of the elements and their connected placements. I don't like that. Hold on. In terms of, you okay, Bear? In terms of the tarot deck, but also in general, if you're interested in alchemy, it is wise to brush up on. That is way too many cards. Like way too many. Way too many. Oh, no. I'm so sorry. If you're interested in learning alchemy or any form of practice, really, feel free to email me. I know that when you check out my booking, I don't offer lessons yet. We'll get there. I don't offer like lectures or lessons yet, but I am thinking about a lecture channel, as well as I need to start advertising my blog on here. The World, the Nine of Cups, the Star, a lot of major arcana. A lot of major arcana. Wow. Okay, I need Queen of Swords is your final card. This is like basically what your layout for read. If you do read your own tarot. Okay. You're telling. Oh. I don't know what this is, but I'm going to put it there. So, we did get King of Swords at the bottom of the deck. So King of Air, love it. Our king appears as the overall energy or the theme, right, for the experience of the entire season. Before I get too far into it, your little intro into alchemy. So there are 4 elements and then a separate segment or a separate section. So there are 5. Okay. Anything like that I call major arcana. So that's in this current layout, that would be the moon, the judgment card, the world, and the star. These are etherical energy cards. They represent spirit. The swords are going to be a representation of air, which means logic in terms of alchemy, tarot, and also, I'm not supposed to say that, never mind. It's separate practice. It is technically separate. I just also practice it. Okay, anyway. Oh, I just noticed that. That's cool that we do have the king and the queen of air in our read. Actually, that's very, very cool, because we also have our ace. Whoa, girl. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself, but that's really exciting. In this read, we also have, okay, so let's talk about air. Logic is the sharpness of wit, the sharpness of mind, the sharpness of understanding, true clarity. So you do have a lot of air present in our read. If you're an air sign, if you're not cross-watching, then you already understand that you are quite the logical being. It's really not arguable. Anyway, so the next we're going to talk about the cups. So that's water. Water represents the movement of emotion or the energy of emotion in the 3rd dimension, whereas earth represents movement of money and or material, and also fire represents creative passion, all in the 3rd dimension, all representations of movement of energy in the 3rd dimension. When you're talking about alchemy, you want to study all 5 points of energy harnessing. Please note that if that is something you're interested in. Okay. Harnessing, not harvesting. If you thought I stuttered, harnessing. Okay, so if you're focused on how to correctly interact with energies in your environment and also what you are made up of, right? Because all the elements make up your zodiacal sign. They make up your, if you don't already know this, they make up your birth chart. And I do suggest to all of my viewers, if you don't already know your birth chart, to please utilize a free website, because there are way too many that are free that are excellent, that you can just use to, instead of paying for your birth chart, which you used to have to pay an astrologer for your birth chart back in the day. Anyway, we're going to move forward. That's your little tiny splash lesson into alchemy for the month. So the King of Swords, I cannot get over that we've got the Ace, the King, and Queen of Swords in our air read. If you didn't know, I have Gemini highly aspected, so this is typically one of my reads too. The king, our king, represents head over heart movement, logical movement, truth, discipline through truth, truly thinking with what is logic over what is emotion. That's going to be a major present energy if this is going to resonate for you during this month. I do like to mention, if you're watching this at another time and it's not your Leo season that you're watching this, but you do feel called to watch it, that is fine. Just remember that this is the recent past whenever you're watching it, this is the current energy, and that this is the future. Okay, we've said it, we're moving forward. The moon is what is unconscious thought. It can be intuition, it can be unclarity. It can also sometimes even be indecision, but that doesn't really matter. I mean, I feel like it matters, but I feel like that's going to vary on the reader. It's often indecision as well as illusion. It can also be illusions. So the Queen of Pentacles is present, and she's the Queen of Earth. She's representing practicality, creature comforts, and security. The Seven of Swords is deception, trickery, tactics, and strategy. It's just not one of my favorite cards. Like, if you're lucky, it's you like being tactical, you like really thinking things through and being strategic and planning. On like, typically it's someone lying and being strategic about how they're being manipulative with logic, because it's a sword card, it's a logic card. So it just depends on how it plays out with the rest of the cards. So multiple stories here, because everyone, if it's going to resonate for you, regardless of what dimension of your life that this plays out, you're going to be thinking logically, right? You're going to be thinking very logically, and you're going to be disciplined in this thought process, because you're going to recognize, if this is not a timeless read and you're watching this for Leo season, we're coming out of a retrograde during a water season. So that moon is going to represent potential illusions, things that are unclear and just not potentially not decided, right? I really like to use that term with the moon card. Things are unclear for many different reasons, but sometimes, especially with the moon card, it means that not everything is decided, meaning that all of the potential variables and factors that create, I don't know if you believe in chaos theory, it depends on your belief system, but that create the potential outcomes of our world, or I think it's more popularly known as the butterfly effect. That's one of the theories, but anyway, the butterfly effect is the theory that when one thing happens in one part of the world, it inevitably impacts something else in the other part of the world. I think the joke is that if a butterfly flaps its wing in Japan, what is the influence and the outcome potentially from that in, let's say, New York? And you can say, oh, nothing. Well, absolutely incorrect, because everything's connected on this planet, regardless of your belief system. So even if you don't really thoroughly understand chaos theory, or therefore the butterfly effect, which is part of it, it is ultimately the understanding that all of the different variables, or how do I say this? On a grander scale, you could look at, no, they don't want me to say that. Fine. Ultimately, things that just haven't happened yet. There are multiple different butterflies that could flap their wings, so to speak, that's therefore cannot be spoken yet about. So there are things that are unclear. Okay, that was a very big spin off on the moon. I'm so sorry. I hope you enjoy air signs. Wow. Anyway, so moving forward, regardless of what is unclear, what hasn't happened yet, what is not necessarily I think the best word you could say, it's not predictably fated with the moon card. You can't predict it, right? But it is potentially a fated outcome still. So what you're focused on, I'm so sorry, I keep talking about the moon card. Apparently it matters. I feel like it matters. Okay. You're very focused on creature comforts, on creating stability. You might even be being very like strategic and logical about this. I would not say, if you're being focused on building, I would not claim that you are being strategical in a way that you're like lying or being manipulative per se, or I hope you're not. But for whatever reason, if you are doing that, you perceive it as logical thinking. This is so cold-hearted. If you are doing that, so some people, some of us are apparently guilty, I guess, of this. I don't know, but also there could just be a warning as you try to create different types of comfort, and also a major note of stability. If you're trying to create different types of stability, there are variables that are not decided yet, that are unclear, and you do need to be tactical and strategical, because others around you potentially are already being tactical and strategical, and or strategic, excuse me, and therefore I know you're already presenting this energy of walking in a line of logic, but you need to be very focused on unfortunately, there's going to be moments where it's very unclear why people are being motivated to be strategic. And you're going to figure it out when Mercury goes direct. So as Leo season begins, if people are being tactical with you, if they've been deceptive, if they've been manipulative, you're going to start, the variables, the reasons why are going to be like clear. With the Ace of Swords. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I even do definitions? I didn't do definitions for the current energy. I'm so sorry. I know that I did the recent past, but we're moving into the future with that Ace of Swords. So that's my point with that card. It is defined as breakthrough, clarity, and sharp mind. The Ace of Swords, coupled with the King of Swords, is a strong card. It's followed by two spiritual cards, both the Judgment and the World. Why does this matter? The Judgment card is true awakening. It can be revelations, it can be reckoning, but it can also be major reflection and awakening to what can be or what is. And the Judgment card is very important depending on what is it's surrounded by. The World card is also a very important spiritual card. It is the last card of the story of the Fool. It is completion, it's harmony, it's fulfillment, it's true fulfillment for not only yourself but those around you. So what does all of this mean in the current energy for when Mercury goes direct? Ultimately, everything that might have been murky, sorry, not Mercury. Wow. Whatever has been murky will no longer be murky. It will not be a question when Leo goes into the sun sign. Like, you can like expect almost overnight dreams, sharp clarity, just random thoughts, just sharp-witted thoughts where you're like, dang it, now I get that, now I get this, now I get this, now I understand this, oh, now I understand this as well. Things that just were unclear before will no longer be unclear when Mercury goes direct. And this is present for all signs because of Mercury's representation of energy, but in terms of the air signs, it means that like our thoughts are going to clear, our communication is going to clear, our ability to be even more logical is going to be cleared, and so we will have true awakenings that are absolutely logical, not questionable. Like, it's just not questionable. They are logic based. And because of that, you'll be able to build a more harmonious, fulfilled future, because you have completion with whatever you were struggling with in the recent past or in the past in general. Sorry, tea break. Okay, excuse me. So, air signs. For your future, you do have a good row. don't recall what we got for clarifying cards, so we'll wait for a second on that. Anyway, the Nine of Cups is an emotional card, but it's one of satisfaction, luxury, emotional stability, and it's a good card to have, especially considering you have, when you look at it like this, you've got the King, which again, he's thinking with logic, thinking with head over heart decisions. He's consistently going to be thinking with disciplined truth. But he's thinking about how to create like his ideal world, how to truly be satisfied, and also in an emotional manner. For air signs, it's a big deal because we don't like, we tend to like kind of push that off. So to care about that is a really big deal, and it will benefit everyone. You do want emotional stability. It only creates like healthy environments, right? It's good to be emotionally stable. Anyway, the star is going to be a representation of hope, faith, rejuvenation, rebuilding, and healing. The Queen of Swords is a very good queen to have for this read. In general, of course, she represents air signs. I love her. She's our queen. But she is clarity in terms of anything that's not been clear in your mind, anything that's been potentially filled with illusion. Her sword cuts through any type of fog, any type of illusion, any type of unclear perception due to strategy or deception. She is able to through complexity, to truly mentally take apart every single thing that is possible, and fragment it in her mind so that there is a true understanding of what is going on around her. And because she is logic based but also feminine, she's got an intuitive splash, of course. So she is about perception, right? Like truly. And if you're focused on like thinking logically, but also like how to have this emotional stability and how to build or rebuild whatever you're trying to build, but ultimately build new places. That card, the water bearer, the Aquarian card, represents the water bearer in true form. She's taking logic, emotion, nurture in a spiritual manner and literally funneling it in a spiritual vortex from one pool to a field in which she wishes to grow. This is true alchemy being presented in this card. I'm not going to go on a spin off about Aquarians right now. I don't know why that matters, but I don't think it matters. You guys are like the codifiers of the zodiac. Okay, I'm going to drop it. It really doesn't matter. Now, but yeah, being very clear-minded, there's not a question whatsoever about any variable. Going back to that, what is unclear, what hasn't happened. In the future, you're completely clear. There's no question at all. And during Leo season and going into Virgo season, you're becoming very clear-minded. There's no question whatsoever. And you're just completely focused on how to create emotional stability where you'd like it to grow. Air signs, I love it. Everybody deserves that. However it plays out for you, I hope it works out well. You've got a Six of Swords in reverse in the Lovers, which is the Geminian card, but it is also the card that does represent the Six of the Ether or the Six of Spirit, so you have a 66 for clarifying cards. I think that's it for numerology. So the Six of Swords in reverse is emotional baggage, unresolved issues, and resisting transition. The Lover's card is a major arcana card for Gemini, but it does represent choices, union, love, and relationships. Seeing where you have emotional baggage and why, seeing where it's hindering you, might be something that you become clear-minded on in the present and in the future after Mercury retrograde. You might go through like little weird karmic bumps during the end of Cancer season, going into Leo season, that you're inevitably like, oh, I had, like, that's karma. Oh, okay. Like, I needed to learn this and I didn't learn it that one time. And like, because energy does inevitably replicate if it's something you're not learning during a retrograde season. So if you do have emotional baggage when it comes to relationships, that's going to be ever present during this season. Have fun with that. Anyway, okay. So remember I said I was going to grab some clarifying cards from the Dreams of Gaia deck. I like that. It's plenty. Okay, you've got what? 3 of water. That's 6 of water. Destiny and the Queen of Fire. I'm going to show off the cards and then we'll start with definitions. These are your final clarification cards. I do not see any nudity. YouTube, please fuck off if there is any, because it's not intentional. Oh my god, you're all so like weird about certain things, but not other things. It's very odd to me. It's very odd behavior. But I'm gonna drop it for now. ODD behavior, to be clear. So, the 3 of Cups, or the 3 of Water, is friendship, community, and happiness. It is at the bottom of the deck. And then you do have, is that 6? I'm so sorry. I thought I said 6. 6, yeah. 6 of Cups is familiarity, memories, healing, and restoration. Destiny and the Queen of Fire. The Queen of Wands is a representation of courage, determination, passion, and joy. Whatever changes you've been going through were necessary. Whatever transitions you're resisting, you have to let go of that, or it'll be forced. No matter how heavy that hits, no matter how heavy of a thing it is that you have to like let go of and transition away from, you really have to. It just is what it is. It is what it is. And ultimately, it will lead to really good healing, like restoration areas of your life that you needed it, where you wanted to create, where you didn't realize, where you wanted to rebuild, where you want to funnel energy. That's going to be very present, and it's going to bring in a destiny that was ultimately based on your ability to be passionate, but also like create through determination, courage, and joy. So, air signs. You've got a really beautiful future here in the read, and ultimately you want to create and where it's going to benefit you and others. So if it doesn't work out, it just is what it is, and you move on to the next thing, because holding on to emotional baggage is not the answer, and then it's just going to lead to stagnation rather than growth. So you do have to let go of things. You do have to move forward in a passionate manner, and you have to kind of not resist anything that was unclear before the retrograde, right? Whatever has become clear to you during the retrograde is not, it's not arguable. It's logic. So you do have to just deal with it and move forward. I love you guys. I hope you enjoyed the content. I always enjoy making it. And if you'd like to book with me, you can do so in the description box below. Don't forget to check out my website. And I'll see you in the next season.